Welcome to Xiao Voice. Continuing from the previous episode 235. The one who could cause Xiao to reveal such an expression was naturally the young sect leader of the profound Zan sect, Chen Xian. Xiao and him had not appeared in the same place, but it was unexpected that they would meet outside this 10,000 medicinal mountain range. There were two elders behind Chen Xian. Xiao was not unfamiliar with these two people. They were the guards of Chen Xian that Xiao had met at the alchemist trade fair. These two old fellows are also alchemists. No wonder Chen Xian was not afraid. He already had some helpers in the pill realm. Xiao knit his brows as he studied the two old men. The strength of those two was much greater than Huang Yi. It was likely that they were 9-star dozongs. They were going to be somewhat troublesome to deal with. By using them, it was possible to see Chen Xian's position in the profound Zan sect. He even had 2 9-star dozongs guarding him after entering the pill realm. Clearly, the profound Zan sect valued him. Part of the reason for this might perhaps be because he was the junior sect leader. However, if he were useless, it was likely that he would not receive such treatment even with his status. While Xiao pondering his status, Chen Xian's group swiftly rushed over. He slowly landed on the hill in front of many gazes. Chen Xian swept his eyes around after landing. After which, they paused on Xiao a short distance away. He was a little startled. Immediately, his face, usually filled with a feminine aura, revealed a dense smile. Xiao, looks like your luck is quite bad. Chen Xian's finger pressed against his metal fan. That fan emitted a bam sound as it was opened. After which, he slowly walked toward Xiao as he spoke with a smile. Xiao's eyes were calm as he looked at the sinister smile of Chen Xian. After which, he glanced at the two old men who were following close behind. He smiled faint and asked, "Is this your support? Do you think it is insufficient?" Chen Xian gently flapped the purple-colored metal fan in his hand and softly laughed. Xiao slowly nodded, "But I think that it is already sufficient." Chen Xian's expression suddenly turned cold. Ferocious smiles flashed across the face of the two old men behind him. They took a step forward and 2 majestic auras swept out. The unexpected change attracted the attention of everyone on the hill. However, no one stepped forward to lend a hand. Instead, everyone withdrew into the distance, afraid they would be drawn in. It was not rare for people to take revenge within the pill realm. Hence, no one felt surprised. A chill flashed across Xiao's eyes as he glanced at the two old men with ferocious smiles. These two people were indeed quite strong. However, Chen Xian was a little too naive in thinking that these two could take Xiao down. "Kill him!" Chen Xian waved the fan in his hand and suddenly pointed it at Xiao. He let out a savage cry as he commanded them. Understood. The two elders immediately acknowledged Chen Xian's orders. Powerful dou qi surged out of their bodies. The massive pressure caused some of the weaker people around to feel somewhat suppressed. Xiao narrowed his eyes. His arms were slowly extended from his sleeves. A jade-green flame shuffled around his fingers like spirits. KK, so it's brother Chen Xian. Just when both parties were in a swords-drawn atmosphere, a laugh suddenly broke it. Everyone immediately saw Songqing and Cao Ying slowly step forward. Chen Xian also smiled when he saw Songqing. Clearly, the two were acquainted with each other. He immediately cupped his hands together and said, "It is unexpected that I am able to meet brother Song here." Songqing smiled. His eyes turned to Xiao by the side. It seemed that there was a conflict between Chen Xian and Xiao. "Is there some enmity between the two of you?" Cao Ying looked at Xiao with some interest. After which, she looked at Chen Xian and asked with a sweet smile. "I have a grudge with this person." Chen Xian did not dare to slight Cao Ying. Her position in the pill tower was something that was far from what he, the junior sect leader of the profound Zan sect, could compare with. "Tisk tisk. Why is it that you form enemies all over the place?" A teasing expression flashed across Cao Ying's attractive face as she walked toward Xiao and laughed. "They are but a bunch of clowns jumping up and down." Xiao laughed and casually replied, "What did you say?" Chen Xian's expression turned cold upon hearing his words. He did not expect Xiao would dare to provoke him in such a situation. Cao Ying's pretty eyes gently swept over Chen Xian and the two old men beside him. She immediately waved her hand and said, "Since all of you have come here, it is likely that you have come because of the task items in the 10,000 medicinal mountain range. This place is not nice. Even though your ability is quite great, it would be impossible for you to snatch something from the hands of an elite Dozun. Therefore, I suggest that all of you should temporarily put aside your grudge, join hands, and talk about this after resolving the issue of this 10,000 medicinal mountain range. What do you say? KK, Ying Or is right. Currently, it is not wise to fight internally. Otherwise, everyone will not be able to obtain their tasked items. At that time, we will lose our qualification to participate in the competition. Song Qing smiled in agreement at this moment. Although he also hated Xiao Yan, he was naturally unable to just stand idly by the side since Xiao Ying had opened her mouth. Chen Xian knit his eyebrows slightly upon hearing this. However, he could not disregard this suggestion of Xiao Ying and Song Qing. He hesitated for a moment before ruthlessly glaring at Xiao Yan. He coldly said, "This time around, I shall let you off on account of Miss Xiao Ying. However, you should pray for yourself once we leave this 10,000 medicinal mountain range." Xiao Yan carelessly glanced at Chen Xian, but was too lazy to bother with him. Although it would be a little annoying to kill Chen Xian, who possessed the protection of 2 9-star Dozongs, it was not an impossible task. KK, Brother Chen Xian is really magnanimous. Song Qing smiled upon hearing his words. After which, he turned his eyes to Xiao Yan and smiled. Currently, we also require some help. Since we are acquainted, you should follow us. When we defeat the fierce beast, you will be able to gain something. The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth was involuntarily lifted until a line of faint ridicule appeared upon hearing Song Qing's words. He wanted to find a free fighter, yet he was still saying such righteous words. This fellow was indeed not a good person. Forget it, I am not used to cooperating with strangers. This Song Qing and Chen Xian were clearly one of a kind. Xiao Yan could not be bothered to waste his breath on them. He randomly waved his hand. After which, he turned around and descended the slope. Song Qing was startled when Xiao Yan rejected him. His face immediately alternated between green and white. It was unexpected that Xiao Yan did not give him any face. Xiao Yan, I am doing this for your own good. Do you think that you can kill that fierce beast all by yourself? Song Qing involuntarily cried out in a deep voice when he saw Xiao Yan turn around and leave. Xiao Ying by the side was also surprised by Xiao Yan's decision. Her eyebrows became vertical. This fellow seemed to be very different from an ordinary person. Although Song Qing's words might be awful, was this fellow not aware of the current situation? He, Brother Song, I have already said that there is no need to give such person any face. You are thinking for him, but he does not appreciate it. From what I see, we should attack and finish this fellow off. It will save you trouble later. A sinister expression flashed across Chen Xian's face as he coldly laughed. A vicious expression flashed across Song Qing's face when he heard Chen Xian's words. Xiao Yan had not given him any face in front of Xiao Ying. This caused him to be quite displeased. Why don't? Chen Xian appeared to be aware of what Song Qing was currently thinking in his heart. He stepped forward without leaving a trace, and his hand gently cut through the air in front of him. Seeing this, Song Qing's eyes turned cold. He looked at Xiao Yan's back before nodding gently. The sinister expression appeared clearer on Chen Xian's face when he saw Song Qing nodding his head. He turned his head and raised his chin at the 2 elders beside him. The 2 elders also nodded with sinister expressions upon seeing Chen Xian's action. Their feet immediately pressed against the ground. After which, their bodies turned into 2 blurry human figures as they carried 2 sharp gusts of wind and rushed toward Xiao Yan's back with lightning-like speed. Brat, do you simply want to leave after having offended the junior sect leader? The sudden attack of the 2 old men had exceeded many people's expectations. By the time they heard the cold cry beside their ears, they were shocked to realize that the 2 of them had already appeared behind Xiao Yan. The sharp winds in their hands were like sharp blades as they ruthlessly hacked down on Xiao Yan's neck. Die! A ferocious expression flashed across the eyes of the 2 old men as they stared at Xiao Yan at close proximity. The wind in their hands erupted and heavily landed on the back of Xiao Yan's head. Kai, the expected fresh blood did not appear when the hand knives landed. The hands of those 2 penetrated through Xiao Yan's body. At the same time, Xiao Yan's back slowly faded. Afterimage? The expressions of the 2 old men changed immediately upon seeing this. The wind from their fists shook and shattered the afterimage. A hurried cry was immediately emitted from their throats. Junior sect leader, be careful. Chen Xian's and Song Qing's faces changed when they heard the hurried cries of those two elders, especially Chen Xian's. His strength was not weak, and he understood that the two elders had failed when he heard their words. This brat is really cunning. Chen Xian's feet stomped on the ground as this thought flashed across his heart. After which, his body shot backwards. However, the space behind him suddenly distorted as his figure moved backwards. A blurry figure appeared from that distortion. A jade-green flame was wrapped around that figure's fist. It tore through the sky like lightning, violently growing closer to Chen Xian's back. The sharp, hot wind that had suddenly appeared behind Chen Xian's back caused his heart to feel a chill. He forcefully turned his body, and the metal fan emitted a bam sound as it was swept in front of him. Clang! The fire fist suddenly arrived and heavily landed on the metal fan. Immediately, a clear, metallic sound was erupted from it. The force from the punch was blocked by the strange material of the metal fan, but Xiao Yan's fist suddenly changed to a palm as a surging hidden force erupted at this moment. Bang! The hidden force penetrated the metal fan before violently striking Chen Xian's chest. His body shot backwards, rubbing across the ground and forming an extremely deep gully. Grug! Chen Xian stabilized his body with much difficulty. His expression was pale as a mouthful of bright red fresh blood was spat out. He quickly raised his head and looked at the spot where he had been standing earlier with shocked eyes. A skinny figure slowly appeared at that spot.